barbecue means.
So I cook outside with you? Didn't you cook together?
You want to learn how to cook outside?
Yes, I do. Of course I do. Of course I do.
Okay, then we can do it together. But I need a good listener because we're cooking with fire.
Fire! I like fire.
Yeah.
I like fire.
Everybody likes a little bit of fire.
You like fire? Just hot stuff. You like fire and you just trust fire.
Mhm.
Or you don't trust fire. Or you don't want to, or you do.
I do.
Okay, then here's what you did. Here's what.
You want your window down?
Yeah, because there's no much air. There's no much air. I can do you a bit more. Even more, Dad?
That's as far as it goes, buddy.
There's no much air anymore. There's no much air. It's gone. It's gone. It's hitting my face.
You're not stopping anyway, bro. Don't fool me.
Yeah. Oh, we stopped.
Yeah, I did, but not for long.
This is a real bike? Yeah, I'm sure this is a real bike.
Yeah. What's
You
it?
got this for me?
You got the red bike? Papa Louie got that for you.
He did?
He did. Papa Louie got that for you because he loves you.
He's so shiny.
It is so shiny.
Now he's so clean.
Well, it's because I just washed it.
That's how you want it.
No, I washed it. But Papa Louie got it for you for Christmas a couple years ago.
He did?
He did.
When I was bigger?
When you were littler.
When I was so big. When I was so big. When I so fast.
Yeah,
That wind was so fast.
yes it was.
That wind was so fast.
Yes it was, I agree. What? Why are we going back home? Because we're done. We got to cook meat. Let it go back to what? We are on an adventure. Everything we do is an adventure. So you and me, we're adventurous guys. First we gotta make the ribs, get them ready, and then what do we have to do next?
Take a nap.
No, we got a lot of fire. Yeah, although you know what, you taking an early nap is not a horrible idea. If I can get you down at noon, then you get to spend more time playing with everybody and hanging out with Robbie. Robbie and the guys.
I'm going to listen to that.
Yeah. Oop, a little too hard. A little too hard.
I'm Daddy,
Yo.
Bobby, and all the mermaids are all here.
There they are.